If you're a senior cruising with Carnival, or you've got parents or grandparents who do, stop scrolling for a second, because this one's going to bug you a little. I've talked to hundreds of Carnival cruisers over the years, and here's what keeps happening. People sail with Carnival 5, 6, 10 times, and they still don't know half of what's actually included in their fare. Not extra cost upgrades, not loyalty perks buried in fine print. Things that are already paid for, already yours, sitting right there, and nobody at the counter is going to walk up and tell you about them. I found out the hard way. I spent 4 cruises before someone finally mentioned one of these to me, and when I heard it, I actually said out loud, "Wait, that's free?" On my own ship, that I was already on. So today, I'm giving you 9 of them. Real ones. The kind you can actually use on your next Carnival cruise, not just nice-to-know trivia. Some of these are hiding in plain sight. A couple of them, even lifelong Carnival cruisers, message me shocked they never knew. Stick around, because number 7 is the one I wish somebody had told me on my very first cruise. Let's get into it. Tip number 1. That free bottle of wine on night 1 that almost nobody asks for. Here's something that blew my mind when I first heard about it, and even more so when I found out how many long-time Carnival cruisers had no idea either. On the very first night of your cruise, if you make a reservation at one of Carnival's specialty restaurants, the Steakhouse, Rudy's Sea Grill, Il Viaggio, Gigi Asian Kitchen, or Cucina del Capitano, you get a full bottle of house wine, completely free, for every 2 adults at the table who are 21 or older. Not a glass, a bottle. I actually heard about this from Carnival's own brand ambassador, John Heald, who ran a poll asking cruisers if they knew about it. And here's the thing. Thousands of votes came in, and a huge chunk of people, some of whom had cruised Carnival a dozen times, said they had absolutely no clue. They'd been ordering wine by the glass, paying full price, cruise after cruise, the entire time. Now, a couple of things to know before you go in expecting this. It's specifically for the first night of the cruise, and it does depend on which ship you're on. This particular deal isn't offered at Cucina del Capitano on Carnival Mardi Gras, Celebration, or Jubilee, so if you're sailing one of those ships, you'll want to double-check when you book your specialty dining reservation. And here's my advice. If you're planning a specialty dining night anyway, book it for night 1 on purpose. You're already going to spend the money on the meal, might as well let the wine be the free part. Tip number 2. The 50% off wine deal that stacks with tip number 1 if you know how to use it. So we just talked about the free bottle of house wine, but here's the part almost nobody mentions. If you're more of a, let's actually pick a nice bottle kind of cruiser, Carnival gives you another option instead. At the Steakhouse, Rudy's Sea Grill, and Il Viaggio, you can get 50% off any bottle of wine on the menu, priced under $100. And this one isn't limited to just night 1. It's available both night 1 and night 2 of your cruise. So think about what that actually means. Say there's a bottle you like at $80, you're paying $40. On any Carnival ship, no exceptions. No fine print about certain ships being left out like the free bottle deal has. Now here's my honest take, and this is where it gets interesting for planning your cruise. If you and your travel companion are the type who will happily drink the complimentary house wine, take the free bottle on night 1. But if you've got a preference, you like a specific Cabernet, or you and your spouse have a bottle you always order on special occasions, night 2 is your move for the 50% off instead. Some cruisers do both. Free house wine night 1, discounted bottle of the good stuff night 2. 2 nights, 2 totally different wine deals, and most people sailing right next to you have no idea either one exists. Tip number 3, the free spa access that makes the expensive one look a little silly. Okay, this one's going to personally offend anyone who's ever paid for a thermal suite pass without checking this first. Here's the setup. On pretty much every Carnival ship, there's a fancy paid pass for the spa's thermal suite, heated loungers, the works, and it is genuinely nice. But here's what almost nobody tells you. That same spa area has a locker room attached to it, and that locker room is open to every single guest on the ship for free. Sauna, steam room, showers, gym, all of it. No pass, no upcharge, no fine print. I actually came across this in a Carnival Cruisers group online, where someone said something that stuck with me. They couldn't believe how many people had sailed a dozen times and never once realized the spa area wasn't some VIP-only zone. It's just open. the whole time. It always was. So picture this. Somewhere on that ship right now, there's a couple who paid extra for the thermal suite pass, sweating it out in a heated lounger, feeling very fancy. And 15 feet away, through an unmarked door, someone in a bathrobe they packed from home is enjoying a completely free steam room, paid exactly $0, and honestly, having a pretty similar time. Now, is the paid version nicer? Sure, a little. But if you're just trying to relax, sweat out yesterday's margaritas, and skip the crowd at the pool for 20 minutes, you don't need to spend a dime. And speaking of things hiding behind doors, nobody checks. Tip number 4 is about a burger you can only order if you know the exact words to say. Let's get into it. Tip number 4. The secret password burger nobody knows to order. If you're sailing out of Galveston on the Carnival Liberty, Carnival Breeze, or Carnival Freedom, there's a burger at Guy's Burger Joint that flat out does not exist on the menu board. It's called the Big Tex. Double patty, steamed in chicken stock with melted cheese, piled with tortilla strips, roasted green chili salsa, and Guy Fieri's signature donkey sauce. And the only way to get one is to walk up and say the actual words, "Can I get the Big Tex?" Like you're ordering off some secret speakeasy menu, except the speakeasy is next to a pool full of screaming kids and the password is a burger. I genuinely love that this exists. Somewhere out there, someone's first cruise, they ordered a Big Tex with total confidence, like they'd been cruising for 20 years, and the crew member behind the counter just quietly respected them for it. Now, if you're not sailing out of Galveston, there's still one for you. On Carnival Sunrise, Guy's Burger Joint runs a breakfast menu most people don't even know exists. A beef patty, fried eggs, bacon, tomato, a hash brown patty, and melty cheddar, all stacked into one burger before 10 in the morning. Most cruisers walk right past Guy's at breakfast time because everybody assumes it's closed until noon. It's not. You're just early enough to have it basically to yourself. So depending on your ship, you've either got a secret password burger or a breakfast burger nobody's ordering. Either way, free, and either way, most passengers standing in line at the regular buffet have absolutely no idea what they're missing 50 feet away. Tip number 5. The free blankets at the pool deck movies that almost nobody grabs. Most nights on a Carnival cruise, they set up a movie on the big screen out by the pool. Popcorn, a couple hundred people in swimsuits and cover-ups, everyone half watching, half chatting. What a lot of people don't realize is there's a little station near the seating with soft blankets, free to grab, no charge, no asking permission. You just take one, wrap up, and watch the movie without shivering the second the sun goes down and that ocean breeze picks up. It's such a small thing, but I think about the number of people who've sat there hugging their knees for 2 hours, convinced that's just part of the cruise experience, when there was a stack of blankets 15 feet away the entire time. My mother-in-law found this one before I did, actually. She showed up to a movie night with a blanket already wrapped around her shoulders like she'd planned it for weeks, and when I asked where she got it, she just said, "You didn't know?" Like I was the one who'd missed the boat. Pun intended. So if you're the type who runs cold, or you're bringing along parents or grandparents who do, that little blanket station is worth knowing about before the sun goes down, not after. Tip number 6. The gift registry that costs you nothing to set up. If you're cruising for an anniversary, a birthday, a retirement, even a vow renewal, Carnival lets you build an actual gift registry, the same idea as a wedding registry, except it's for your cruise. And here's the part people assume costs money and doesn't. Setting it up is completely free. You're not paying some concierge fee just to have a list of things family and friends can chip in on for you. Now, the gifts themselves, sure, those cost money. Somebody's still buying you the champagne or the spa treatment or whatever's on the list. But the service itself, the actual registry, doesn't cost you a dime to create. I think the reason nobody talks about this one is, it just sounds like something that should be complicated. Like you'd need a wedding planner and a 3-week waiting period. It's not that. If you're celebrating something on your cruise, it genuinely takes a few minutes to set up, and suddenly your sister-in-law isn't asking you what you want for your 40th anniversary. She's just picking straight off a list you already made. If you've got something worth celebrating on your next Carnival cruise, that's one worth setting up before you even board. Tip number 7. The free water bottle sitting in your loyalty account that almost nobody bothers to redeem. Once you've sailed with Carnival even a couple of times, there's a reward sitting there waiting that almost nobody claims. A free 1.5-liter bottle of water delivered right to your cabin. Doesn't sound like much on paper. But here's the thing. Most people don't even realize they have rewards sitting there in the first place. Quick heads up if you're watching this after September 2026. Carnival's renaming their whole loyalty program to Carnival Rewards around that time, moving away from the old VIFP system. But perks like this one are expected to carry over in some form. So, whatever they're calling it by the time you're watching this, the point stands the same. I've heard from people who've cruised Carnival 5-6 times, points just quietly stacking up in the background the entire time, and they never once logged in to see what they'd actually earned. Carnival's not going to call you up and say, "Hey, you've got a free water bottle waiting, come get it." You have to go looking. And look, I'm not going to pretend a bottle of water is life-changing, but it's the principle of the thing. You've already earned it. It's already yours. The only cost is remembering to ask for it, and most people don't even do that much. So if you've cruised Carnival before, it genuinely takes 2 minutes to log in and see what's already sitting there with your name on it. Tip number 8. The Milestone rewards that can turn one cruise into basically 2. Remember how we just talked about that loyalty program renaming itself around September 2026? Well, the free water bottle is just the entry-level version. Keep sailing with Carnival, and the rewards actually start getting serious. At a higher tier, you can unlock a one-time free cabin upgrade. Sometimes, instead of the upgrade, it's structured as your 3rd, 4th, or 5th guest sailing completely free, which if you're traveling as a bigger group or bringing extended family along is not a small thing. That's potentially an entire extra person's cruise fare gone. And there's more. At a certain milestone, you also get a complimentary meal for 2 at one of the specialty restaurants. Not a discount, not a coupon. An actual paid-for dinner on the house because you kept coming back. Here's what gets me about this one. People will hunt for a $50 discount code for 20 minutes, but they won't spend 2 minutes checking what their own loyalty status already unlocked. I've talked to cruisers who had a free specialty dinner sitting on their account the entire week and found out about it from a crew member on the last night, practically walking off the ship. So, if you've got some history with Carnival, don't just check the water bottle. Check the whole list. There might be a dinner, an upgrade, or a free guest sitting there that you've technically already earned. Tip number 9. Unlimited free laundry, and why this one might be the biggest sleeper on the whole list. At Carnival's top loyalty tier, once you've put in some serious time cruising with them, laundry stops costing you anything at all. Not a discount. Not a once-per-cruise voucher. Unlimited for the entire sailing. Now on a 3 or 4 night cruise? Sure, that's nice, but nobody's losing sleep over it. But think about the cruisers doing back-to-back sailings, or the 2-week trips, or the folks who cruise so often, it basically is their second home. Laundry on a ship isn't cheap when you're paying per bag or per item the whole way through. At this tier, that entire cost just disappears. You could pack half the suitcase you normally bring, wash as you go, and come home with a bag lighter than when you left. I think this is the one that proves the whole point of this video. Every single thing we've talked about today, the wine, the spa, the secret burger, the blankets, the water bottle, the free upgrade, none of it gets handed to you. Carnival's not walking up to your cabin with a clipboard checking off your freebies. It's already yours. It's already paid for. It's just sitting there, quietly, waiting for someone to actually ask. And that's genuinely what I hope you take from this video. Not just the 9 things themselves, but the habit of asking. Check your account, ask your server, knock on the door you've never noticed before. You've probably earned more than you think. If you made it all the way to tip number 9, you're exactly the kind of person this channel is for, and I'd genuinely love to know you were here. Drop the words "cruise for you" in the comments, and I'll come find you and say thanks myself. And if this video saved you some money or taught you something new before your next Carnival cruise, that's exactly what this channel's for. Hit like, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.